Welcome all ladies and gentlemen to this analysis. I have just seen a post from Deputy President William Ruto's Facebook page reacting to a statement that was given by President Uhuru Kenyatta when he was giving his speech at the Labor Day celebration that was held here in Nairobi, Nyayo Stadium. And I want to read for you that reaction. So we want to look at it critically before I play for you what exactly the president said when he was talking in Nyayo. William Ruto shared this post and said, "Sorry my boss, I feel your pain. Those you assigned my responsibilities and Project Mzee have let you down miserably. They bungled our big four, killed our party and wasted your second term. Wao ni bure kabisa. Boss, I'm available just a phone call away. Sadly, last cabinet was 2 years ago." Yule number 2. Then they shared the poster, the video there of President talking in Nyayo Stadium. I know maybe some of us did not find an opportunity to listen to what exactly the president said. And then for us to be fair enough to dissect that reaction, I want us to listen to what President Uhuru Kenyatta spoke, what he said when he was speaking in Nyayo.
Na badala ya viongozi kuwa wanaketi kusema tutasuluhisha namna gani, jameni, tutasaidiana namna gani, wengine wanaenda huko kuinsight wananchi. Angalia hii bei imepanda, uliza Uhuru. Yaani mimi Uhuru niko Ukraine, mimi ninafanya nini huko? Jameni. Mimi COVID nilikuwa huko kulea kutoa mimi. Badala ya kuja kunisaidia, kuniambia niko na mawaidha hii na njia hii na njia hii, njia ambaye tunaweza tuokoe watu yetu wakati tunagojea mambo haya yaishe, wewe huko kwa soko na matusi. Na wewe unajiita kiongozi na unajiita ati wewe ndio sijui namba ngapi katika nchi ya Kenya. Uko wapi? Badala ya kunisaidia kuondoa hiyo shida, wewe uko kwa soko kusema ulizeni ule. Basi si ungewacha uniwachie mimi nitafute mtu ambaye angenisaidia jameni. Tuambiane ukweli jameni. Mimi wakati unafika lazima watu waambiane ukweli. Wewe unajua hii shida sio ya mtu. Hii ni shida ya uko wapi wakati mimi nakuhitaji? Na ndio mimi nashukuru huyo mzee. Huyo mzee at least hata kama alikuwa na mambo yake alikuja kunisaidia.
So if you listen to the president's statement, he's talking of how Deputy President has been going out, and instead of sitting down with him and maybe to help find solution here and there, he opted to go and kufanya matusi and do his politics in the roof, at the top of the car, in the top of the car. And if you are keen enough, this is not the first time that Uhuru is talking about this issue of Ruto leaving government to go and campaign. And Ruto has never responded to that. When Uhuru says, "Well, uliacha serikali ukaenda kufanya siasa zako and you left my government," Ruto doesn't respond to that part. In fact, he diverts and now starts saying the way the people that were given that responsibility, to help to work with the president are the people that decided to let him down. Yes. So Ruto is saying something. I'm available just a phone call away. One thing from that poster, that is not a post of William that is not an official communication. Or, okay, maybe this is a political statement, so it doesn't need official communication. Let's not maybe raise the threshold. But this is a post by, I want to believe, not even by Mohammed, the official communications director of YSR. But this is a post by Ruto's blogger. I want to believe he's a blogger, Denis Itumbi. So the question, because currently, and when I was publishing this video, Ruto was having a rally in, I think in Nandi Hills. Stephen Sang, I think, is launching his re-election bid there. So Ruto was in that rally. Of course, Ruto doesn't make this post. I don't want to be that much shallow by saying that Ruto does this post. But then, for Denis Itumbi to make this post, that means first they consulted, or behind the scene, Ruto seems to have instructed his communication team that you must face the president head on. When the president says something, it doesn't need my approval, it must be a head-on reaction. Because what would I expect? There is something called a position statement in communication. A position statement is where you react, but you give your position on this. If Ruto wanted to maybe react online, what they would have done is to come up, and this will be the work of Mohammed, Hussein Mohammed, to write a position statement that in the light of what the president have said, this and this, and they could still put this in a very good writing and respond, and even the media will still consume this. Make it official, put it in your social media pages, it's fine. Talk about how you were left out of government, that your position was taken, last cabinet. Talk about when he was last admitted, or rather invited in cabinet, and that would be interesting. Then according to him, there are things he's saying about being for agenda. If you want to address these issues, you will just address the president directly by making a position statement. And the position will be, and the reason why he's evading that is because in a position statement he will be tasked to respond to the fact that he is leaving government, or he is opposing the government of the day, despite the fact that he is number 2. And I want to blame him for this, because this issue of just holding things just casual, I don't think that is presidential. So will we expect that when Ruto becomes the president, and the communication people around, especially now that he has a professional in the name of Hussein Mohammed, needs to take charge? Some of these posts, I believe this should be a post in Denis Itumbi's Facebook page, but not William Ruto's Facebook page. Ladies and gentlemen, I might be overreacting, but this is the truth. So he's also telling us that the last cabinet meeting that he attended was 2 years ago. Why? We are in 2022, so he last attended in 2020. That was the year we had COVID. So if he was there, and that is one thing that the president is saying, and I want us also to dissect what the president said, that some of the problems that are happening, that we are having, is beyond him. When he was talking about the UK, the COVID distractions, and I want to believe COVID really had a very huge distraction in the economy. When he mentioned about the Ukraine wars, and he was saying that, look here, some of these problems that you guys are persecuting in the rallies are not my problems. So you'll actually accept what the president is saying. Now, in this video, I want to explain to you in details why I feel that Ruto is a bit dishonest in this response. That's what I want to look at. But then, before we do that, are you in Nairobi and its environment and its environs? That one, I'm talking about Machakos, Kiambu, or even within Nairobi, the areas of Utawala, Lavington, Karen, Runda. But I mentioned Utawala because someone told me that they also have issues. And those areas who experience frequent blackouts, then the solution for you is a power backup system. Solar. Then, so check out, contact the Interlude company. These guys have amazing packages for you to install solar alternative power source, that is the power backup system. So one thing I've realized with them is this, and you need to take this, is they can integrate your heating system with the solar power source without even having an extra cost of buying another equipment. Now, what does that mean? What that means is if it is integrated, it can minimize the cost of your electricity bill to zero. Very possible, because of course the highest consumer that takes a lot of energy is the showers, especially the water boiling system. Ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to talk to Gideon here. His number is 0722818883, 0722818883. And yes, I also need to remind you that my brother Balozi Media, a gospel musician, has a new song. Check out his YouTube page, Balozi Media, and kindly subscribe. Let's see how he can get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. I have my 4 reasons on why I feel that Deputy President William Ruto is simply getting something here very wrong. Number 1 is this. If he feels that he was rendered jobless by the fact that some of his roles were assigned to maybe to some people, and he alludes to the fact that Matiang'i was assigned a chief minister. The question here is this. This is the point. Matiang'i was assigned that position after William Ruto decided to walk out of government. Personally, my position is this. William Ruto literally walked out of government, and this is what happened. When he was launching development projects, he was taking that opportunity to campaign. In fact, his bid was immediately Uhuru was sworn in. After that handshake, William Ruto was focusing on 2022. So he was doing campaigns, launching projects that some of them were not even commissioned by the national government and were not even funded. And when the president said that, wait, tufanye kazi kwanza, then we'll do politics, he decided that, look here, this is not what I want. And literally, he absconded his duties. That is my position. So, if he's honest that he was rendered jobless, then the most honorable thing was to resign. Because Kenyans will always keep him accountable. That yes, you are appointed, you were elected alongside the president under the new constitutional dispensation. But if you feel like you are taking the Kenyan money without working because your job is being given to someone else, what exactly do you do? Because that means that he's just been taking money without working. And that is why I feel that he's being dishonest. Now, but another aspect that we also need to take is this. If he was honest that he's still number 2, because he keeps on bragging that he's still number 2, and he was honest that he wanted to help the president, but he was locked out. But now, as a deputy president who is a principal assistant to the president, he brags to have the numbers in the legislation. So what he could actually do, and in the spirit of now, leave alone the president, but in the spirit of helping the country, because that's what the president is saying, that instead of going out to make noise in the rallies, why don't you come up with policies and maybe ideas on how the situation can be handled? He could still, even if he doesn't have direct contact with the president, but use his members of parliament to pass legislation in the National Assembly, because that is also there. And to be honest, in the second term, some of the members that are now in UDA were the ones that were leading many parliamentary committees in the National Assembly. Like Kimani Chungwa was in budget. Now that is the position that was taken by Kanini Kega. So he is being dishonest by saying that the fact that they were not together with the president is why he could not help. If he wanted, he also had ideas. There are very many different ways. There are institutions he could directly go to. If, for example, fighting EACC, he can do something through the legislation. So if the president contact is locked, the legislation is still open. Another aspect that I think is being another aspect that he's lying about is this. Ruto was on campaign mode. Ladies and gentlemen, let's not lie. Let's not lie here. Ruto was campaigning after 2017. Immediately he started campaigning for 2022. So, and one thing that you have to agree is this, because he was campaigning, how could he really honestly help the government? And I want to tie this with something that we also need to do, that the script by William Ruto for 2022 campaigns was to make sure that he brings down President Uhuru Kenyatta's administration. And that is why Uhuru, in his own wisdom, decided that he needed to consolidate a different team, a sky team around his presidency to help him deliver the Big Four agenda. Have you ever wondered why William Ruto cannot point any success in the Big Four agenda? Because the truth is, the health pillar is not a failure. In Nairobi, there are hospitals that have been built, and that was anchored in the health pillar of the Big Four agenda. In Chuka, there is a hospital that was built there. That is part of the health aspect. What I want to agree is, yes, the Big Four was not achieved as it was intended, because it also had some other issues like the COVID-19 distractions, and also the budget constraints. But there are elements that you can point out and say there was success. The reason why Ruto is dishonest is because of this. He wanted to mount his presidential campaign on the failures of Jubilee government. And this is the truth. If Uhuru will stick with William Ruto, then they were not going to achieve anything. Because for you to successfully mount a presidential campaign in Kenya, you need to discredit the government of the day. That is why his script was discredit everything. In BBI, there were things that were very positive. And Uhuru said that from the word go, Ruto was part of the BBI. But because of his presidential ambitions, he decided that, look here, BBI is not one of the things that I'm going to associate myself with. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is my analysis on why I feel that this statement on Ruto, that he's not part of the government, is a total lie. If he honestly feels that he's not it, what he would have done is 2 years ago, he would have resigned and feel, yes, I have been dispersed. And even resigning will still achieve his presidential ambitions, because he will still find an opportunity to do his campaigns. And lastly, kindly kindly subscribe to my channel. I'm coming back with a very interesting analysis on Raila Odinga. Kindly stick around here.